Well, Clive McAlpine is a landscape ecologist with the University of Queensland. He's also the spokesman for the Koala Research Network, which represents a broad-ranging group of scientists who specialise in koala health and sustainability. And he joins us now from Brisbane. Clive McAlpine, good morning. Is this government move appropriate?
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I think it's very appropriate and timely. A lot of researchers and koala carers have been fighting for this decision for the last decade.
Some koala carers have been arguing for something a lot more substantial. Is this enough?
I think it's good. I think it's a good start, and I think it's very welcome.
What has happened to koala populations in these areas?
There's been a substantial decline in southeast Queensland, which is probably due to urban development. Same in coastal New South Wales, in cities such as Coffs Harbour and Port Stephens. But there's also been big declines in western New South Wales and western Queensland due to land clearing, drought and heat waves.
And it's more specific to those areas than Australia-wide? Like koala populations in some areas of Australia are doing quite well?
Well, there's a lot of controversy about differences between New South Wales and Queensland and Victoria. Victorian koalas are mostly introduced populations from islands, and generally they're doing reasonably well. There's some overabundant populations, but they're not all overabundant. But some of them are overabundant. The general state of those populations is that they're relatively stable, and there's relatively moderate densities to high densities of populations of koalas in Victoria and also on Kangaroo Island. But these populations are managed for decline. So the Kangaroo Island population is being managed through a sterilisation program to decline, so it's not overabundant.
Give us an idea of what's happened with the population in the koala population in southeast Queensland. Do you have any idea about numbers, what it was 20 years ago and what it is today?
We know that in 1996, when surveys were done in the Koala Coast area, which includes Redlands, parts of Brisbane and Logan, that the population then was about 6,700, and it's declined now to around about 2,000 koalas over a period of 15 years.
So would there have been a danger if the government didn't come up with some measure like this, that the population would have been wiped out altogether in southeast Queensland?
Well, the population is still very much at risk, and it's going to take a lot to turn it around. And this government this government decision will help do that. But we need good planning. We need good strategies to try and conserve these populations.
To what extent will it help the population?
It will mean that for any development that threatens koala habitat, there will be an environmental impact assessment done on that habitat, and they'll have to. Developer will have to prove that it's not going to negatively impact on koalas.
It sounds like you believe that there will have to be further measures if the koala population is to rebound significantly. What other measures would you like to see in southeast Queensland?
Well, the big three killers of koalas in southeast Queensland are dogs, vehicle collisions and disease. And they're all attributable to urbanisation and the loss of habitat. So we need to first stop the loss of habitat in the region, the further loss of habitat. Then we need to control dogs. We need to reduce the deaths from cars and put in place strategies to reduce disease.
Yeah, and just taking up one of those, for example, what kind of measures do you think are necessary to control dogs? How can you possibly do that?
Well, it's up to the dog owner to control their dog at night time.
Yeah.
And some of the local governments are putting in initiatives to do that, but it's getting people to comply with that, which is the difficult part.
OK, just finally, Clive McAlpine, why not a blanket ban across all of Australia? You seem comfortable enough with this kind of patchwork approach at this stage.
I think it's a difficult situation, but we've had other listing decisions which haven't listed koalas because they've said Victoria's were a safe population. I think this is a good step to say that Victoria may be a relatively stable population, but we have to do something about Queensland and New South Wales, and we can't keep arguing about Victoria versus Queensland and New South Wales. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah. Okay, Clive McAlpine in Brisbane, thanks very much for that.